I mean, it's very,
Yeah.
very, very substantial. I don't think John will
Cost
say.
of purchasing the IP, which you don't design and you buy it from the market.
Right. Or you try to design around it.
Yeah, I think it depends.
Around it, no, but like typically nowadays chips are basically about 80% of the IP which you buy from somewhere, right? If I have to put a USB on my chip, I don't design it, I just buy the IP of the USB, right? If you take that kind of a thing totally included, nowadays probably 70% of the chip cost other than manufacturing goes into buying the IP.
How is it?
Yeah.
That's substantial. But I thought you were also asked after how much does it actually cost to develop that IP from our perspective. So one of the things, of course, we do whenever we develop a new chip, we're trying to patent the new things that we've invented. That was not your
Yeah, probably both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Probably spend more time trying to identify new patents or ideas rather than we're not actively looking to to work unless there's a specific reason to work around the existing patents.
But when you're designing, right, how often do you stumble into a situation where you're violating somebody's patent? I know that's a tough question because everybody seems to say that somebody is violating, but all that is adding to the cost of releasing a chip.
Yeah, I think the simple answer to it is if it's something that we know has already been, is already available as an IP, we'll just license it. To your point, there's no point in doing it. So we generally aren't trying to actively work around something we know about.
Yeah, we spend a lot of money on that, on stuff like USB, which is very old, a great example, an obvious one, but there's a lot more as well.
One question from the back. Yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Neeraj. I'm a patent consultant, and my question is that we meet a lot of clients and startups wherein they want to file a lot of patents, but primarily, as you know, in Western world, if you want to file a patent, it costs you $20,000-$30,000, and if you want to file in 5 countries, probably you'll be spending like $150,000 just for one small IP and one patent, and that becomes very difficult for a lot of startups because when you want to create that IP, you also want to secure that.
Yeah.
And US also has gone into first to file system.
Yeah.
So what is your suggestion to these kind of companies? Because maybe probably they are expecting to raise only $200,000 as an angel funding, but that entire amount will go into patenting if they are heavily on IP.
Patent lawyers have to start charging less.
That would be one great solution, but my answer is yeah. I mean, you have to do it. And yes, it's expensive, and I don't know how you can, but you have to do it. And my personal experience, having also managed a couple of startups, is that VCs are actually very focused on that, and they would support you if you say, look, we have these 2-3 great ideas, we have to protect that. They would typically pony up and say, okay, go. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, 30, 40, 50 grand easily. And if you just got angel funding and you sold 30% of the company for that, it's very painful. But if you don't do it, you're gonna end up with nothing. You have to do it.
So FYI for you and the rest of the thing, both government of India and Karnataka government have very, very good incentive program for the patent filing, which can save up to 70% of your cost of patent filing. So if you are not aware of it, basically please you can talk to IESA or any of us to see how your cost can be mitigated. So out of $20,000, maybe about 60 to 70% can be basically facilitated by the government programs which are there for India patent as well as the global patent.
At the same time, I would like to add, that is probably the cheapest of the, if you are embarking on some space, that is the, cost, as he said, must be invested, and that is the cheapest component of your entire, development strategy, because you will end up building something which is of no value, because somebody will copy it very easily, right? So, and of course, as a startup, you can delay the big investment later. So, but really putting your foot in the door, saying that this is my IP, and just stay with the professional phase for as long as you can. But that is not a option. That is not an option not to file it. If you are venturing into this space of IP, then saving money on protecting IP is bad logic. Is bad, bad business. Yeah.
Thanks.
So one last question, which is particularly my curiosity. You are Cambridge Silicon Radio, so you must be knowing a lot about the mm, this
But the silicon radio.
no, but in country like India, the spectrum is very expensive and all of this thing, and there has been a lot of talk and effort in basically using the free spectrum, wide HDR, all of those things. So, where do you think this basically the whole spectrum storage is moving to, right? Because this paid spectrum is becoming very expensive, right? But there is a lot wide space available and SDR, there's a lot of effort going on. So can you shed some light, because we assume you are the leading expert on the radio and spectrum.
Well, it's very interesting you say that, because if you look at CSR's history, and John was very much part of that, the 50s employee, the original founding team was three guys that are no longer with CSR. Their next venture is a company also in Cambridge called New, which is, I think, Gaelic or Welsh for cloud.
For cloud, yeah.
And it is actually what these guys are developing is a new standard they call weightless, and it is a wide spectrum free. It's a radio that transmits into this free spectrum, and the goal is to enable the Internet of Things down the line. Very ambitious, because the steps are: one, design the standard; two, get it adopted, which is not easy; three, compel companies like CSR to then design chips on that spectrum, and then what they want to do is they want to become the operator of that weightless standard, connecting hundreds of millions and billions of devices to each other. So the founding team, the original CSR founding team, a couple of years ago started this new venture, and it's not called CSR, but it's similar, and it's exactly in that area.
One more further question, we will take only 30 seconds. Why did the UWB fail?
Yeah, that's a great question. John, what do you think?
What?
I
think it was a great technology that had a good solution, but whatever the industry didn't adopt.
It is a very interesting example of exactly how difficult this game is, because ultra wideband in 2006 was a sure bet, and it was the everybody was behind it. There were at least 10 startups. CSR had this great position because effectively it's Bluetooth-like, but now the pipe is much broader. I think the end of the day, if my answer, why did it fail? Because Wi-Fi beat it to the punch. That's That's my answer. Now that's a vast simplification, but for me that is the main reason.
And probably the need for that much bandwidth was not there. Wi-Fi could satisfy the need of the bandwidth, and line of sight problem is
yeah, and I think the applications just weren't there for it at the time, as you say. Yeah. Yeah.
So there is one enthusiastic gentleman. Right?
What's the lesson learned, from the failure of UWB? I mean, that is probably, helps us more in some of the choices.
A couple. The one is there are no surefire bets. You really think it's going to take off, and you're absolutely certain it's going to happen, and the lay of the land, it's all the lights are green, and you still don't know. That's the main lesson learned. And the second one is related to that, is even if you think, and you're always in that position, because you're innovative, you disappear. Bluetooth Smart, I'm convinced, I would bet my bottom dollar that is going to be massive market. But I would have told you exactly the same thing in 2006 about ultra wideband. So the key is, and this is the discussion that you have in your budget cycle, in your long range plan cycle, you need to try and stay real and realistic. And at some point when the writing's on the wall and you got it wrong, and it's the most difficult thing you can do as a management team, having invested $20 million, having told your board that it's going to be $5 billion in revenue next year, and then say, sorry, I was wrong. To do that early, it's not too early, but to do that at the right time, that is the second lesson learned. We didn't do that at ultra wideband. We persisted way too long. And that made it more expensive than it needed to be. And to be honest, in hindsight, we were still pushing it, and we knew it wasn't going to happen. It's difficult to admit.
But at the same time, this is definitely a lesson. But at the same time, if UWB had clicked, okay, you would have been, you would have regretted not having done that. Okay, so life is
the technology game, right?
Right, the technology game. So even though that space failed, but that is not a lesson saying that don't venture into a new space. Exactly. Now it is more and more venture into a new space. Okay. Like I think taking right.
The entrepreneur is the king, right? We can end up with that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. I would request you to kindly take your seat while we can just take off these huge chairs. I would also, I mean, just while these chairs are being taken off, would just like to inform that I'm sure you're aware there are a couple of demo tables which will continue to be there. So do feel free to explore and interact. To do away the honors and give away a memento. So may I please call upon Mr. Beurden to begin with? Thank you, sir. I would now request to Mr. Mansur to kindly come on stage. Also, I would like to a special thank you to the CSR team who had kind of coordinated the whole of thing. Mr. Shastri, if you could kindly come on the dais, we would like to give away the moment. Also, we would like to give away a token of appreciation and thank you to Dr. Satya Gupta, who was one of the panelists. So, sir, kindly come on stage. Mr. Khare, could you also kindly come on stage? Thank you. And also Mr.